Hello there, my name is Celeste and welcome to my sewing room for this edition of Friday Sews. I hope that all of you are doing well. This is December the 22nd, so 3 more days until Christmas. Hopefully all of your gifts have arrived. I'm still waiting on one to come to my house. But if this is your first time clicking on a Friday Sews video, what this basically is a community where people who love to sew get to do a video sew and tell, kind of like an old-fashioned show and tell, but we talk about sewing and a little bit of life. So welcome. You can look up that hashtag Friday Sews. It was begun by Jen in today in Jen's sewing room. I'll get that correct. Where she just began doing this, and a lot of us have joined in that community. So what have I been doing in my sewing room this week? Well, my sewing room has been really replaced by Santa's workshop. So I have been using it because my cutting tables, sewing tables are at a good height where I can wrap gifts as they have come in. And if I haven't mentioned it before, I still am lacking one gift that I ordered. Well, actually, that's not true. 3 gifts that I remember I placed 2 more orders recently. So 3 more gifts that I'm waiting on. So hopefully they will arrive by Saturday night. So also because it's just been a crazy time, and this past week was my mother's 82nd birthday, which I'll share a little bit in a minute. It's just kind of been going, maybe much like yours. So what I have been doing is when I've been sitting in doctor's offices or such, I have been trying to do a little reading, and I'm catching up on some reading sewing materials. So I have completed the 10, 20, 30 minutes to sew by Nancy Zeman. She used to do a show on PBS all about sewing, and she has created different patterns and books that she did, as well as video tutorials. So I'm kind of going through some of the books that I've acquired for my mother's sewing room and kind of paring some of those down. So I wanted to get a good read of this, and then I'm going to compare it to some of the other books that I have to see which ones I will keep in my sewing library and which ones I need to pass along. So that was an accomplishment. I finally finished this. It has a lot of great information, especially if you're new to sewing, about sewing needles and about sergers and different parts of your sewing machine, as well as how to do different types of collars and sleeves and all kind of basic sewing things. So if you're looking for a book to begin sewing with, this would be a good recommendation that I would have for you. It also gives you ideas, in this crazy world, especially since I work outside the home and care for my mom, just finding a few moments every day to sew. And so she begins the book with giving some helpful suggestions of how doing something for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes when you have the extra time can really help your sewing project come along. So there you have that. As far as life, as I've shared before, this past week was my mother's 82nd birthday. And if you followed my journey, you know that she's had a lot of health problems this year. And so I took the day off from work, and I wanted to take advantage of creating memories, since really none of us know how long we'll be on this earth, but her time seemingly is getting shorter. And so I wanted to make sure that was memorable. I walked in early Wednesday morning and gave her some flowers, and then gave her our card that we had made for her. And then she got to pick out what lunch she wanted. And so I went and got that and brought it back, and we ate lunch together and helped her with some of her Christmas cards that she wanted to complete. And then in the center that she is living in, she had a surprise visit from Santa Claus himself, and he brought many gifts to her as well as the other residents. And so she really lit up for that. And then also my cousin that lives in Georgia, and I coordinated a FaceTime where her younger brother, she's the only girl and she has 3 brothers. So her younger brother, they were able to FaceTime and they got to spend some time talking and seeing each other, which did both of them did both of them good, is what I'm trying to say there. And then she heard from her other 2 brothers and then my brother. So by about 2:30, she was really worn out. So later on that afternoon, I did leave to come back home, but it was a great time that we were able to spend together. And I think that she really appreciated me being there for her birthday. She kept commenting about how wonderful those flowers that I brought her smelled. And so she loves flowers and she loves Christmas. So I was able to find a Christmas vase to put them in, which made her part of the room very nice and cheery. So I have put a few things on my sewing wish list for Christmas. So we'll see if I get anything off that list. If not, that's perfectly fine too. But just if it was just a wish list, have you started a wish list, or did you have a wish list for sewing things? If so, I'd love to know what you put on your Christmas list for sewing. Please comment below so that I can get other ideas, because in January my birthday will be here and I can start another wish list for that. So, and I'm also working on my resolutions for 2024. And rather than making resolutions for my personal life, I'm going to kind of change the whole thinking of that and make them goals. And so I'm working on establishing my goals as well as my resolutions for 2024. And hopefully next week I will be able to share some of those with you. Do you do resolutions? Do you do a vision board? Do you make plans for the next year? I love to learn your systems as well, because I'm always trying to perfect where I'm actually able to keep those types of goals. 2023 was a great year. I'll share that next week, where I was able to accomplish, I think, 95% of my goals or resolutions that I made earlier this year. I hope that you and your family have a very Merry Christmas. I hope that you get to spend time with the ones that you love and treasure. And, you know, it's more than just the gifts that we get or we purchase. It's just spending time with people that we really love and appreciate. And so I hope that you have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you next week to talk about what my plans are for